Hi everyone, this is Isa and you're watching episode 1 of my 2.5-week trip to Japan. In this travel vlog, you will see the exciting places I visited in Tokyo and Kyoto, from famous food streets, parks, my first sumo wrestling experience, the best places to do your shopping as a foreigner to get discounts, and what to expect when you stay at a traditional ryokan. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everything will be listed in the description for easy reference, and I hope you enjoy this video. Our journey begins with an 11.5-hour flight from LAX to Tokyo. Here I am with my sister. Upon arrival, I highly recommend you get a Suica or Passmo card as soon as possible to save you time and make the most out of your trip in order to ride the train system. Here we are, arriving to our cozy comfort hotel in Tokyo with my siblings and my brother's girlfriend. Overall, I was pretty content with our stay, and everything, just as a heads up, in Tokyo is pretty small in size compared to the average American hotel rooms. This is our cute little bathroom. I didn't hate it. I thought it was pretty cute. Honestly, it was like the perfect size for my sister and I. We ended up grabbing a snack at 7-Eleven and knocking out since we had DisneySea Tokyo the next day. I'm usually not the biggest fan of amusement parks because of the crowds, but I was curious to see how DisneySea would compare to Disneyland back in the US. And I did end up getting my first pair of Disney ears, so that was a lot of fun. Sightseeing overall was pretty breathtaking, just taking in all the details it took to build this place. And honestly, the food wasn't too bad. I ended up eating this starfish pizza, and it was actually like pretty tasty. If you're ever in Tokyo, I would recommend trying this park out just for the experience. The next day, we ended up going to Starbucks Reserve in Tokyo, which compared to other Starbucks was actually pretty mind-blowing. This structure, I want to say, had 3 floors and a very gorgeous view, plus the architecture and design had this really rustic copper kind of touch and tones to it. I would say if you ever needed a place to work from in Tokyo, this would be my go-to spot. Plus the desserts here, the breads, and I ended up getting this like rolled chocolate bread that I thought was absolutely delicious. I would come back for it for sure. And then my brother's girlfriend ended up getting this popcorn drink, which was actually really tasty as well. The sandwiches here, croissants, oh my god, the bread was so amazing. I dream about this matcha ice cream drink, by the way. I have no idea where else I can find something like this, but if you know, LA peeps, please let me know. After breakfast, we pretty much walked around and just explored random shops in Tokyo. If you are into Pokemon, there was a VIP lounge. If you want that experience, I definitely recommend this place as your go-to spot to play some Pokemon with the fellow community. There's also quite a bit of manga, so if you want to do some shopping. If you love stationery, you must visit Shibuya Loft. I am obsessed with stickers, and I'm going to tell you, I spent quite a bit here, even though everything's at a really affordable price. They have the cutest things. Of course, your girl had to cop some Onitsuka tiger shoes. 10 out of 10 recommend. Your feet will be not hurting after all the walking, especially Laforet. Oh my gosh, guys, I have discovered my favorite shopping mall where they had a mix of goth punk fashion, but also like really kawaii Lolita dresses. And the fashion here in Tokyo was at another level that I wish I honestly had saved up more so I could go on a little shopping spree. Next up, we went to Yoyogi Park, which I actually recommend going to the parks before you do shopping. Unless you're insane like me and you want to carry your bags around, then by all means, you do you, boo. But this park was really cool because the trees here, if you're into nature and just love to see trees that are like super huge and overgrown, this is your go-to spot. Like this temple was so gorgeous. But honestly, what caught my eye was these 2 huge trees that were parallel to each other. And I just thought it was so cool how big they were and how fluffy they looked. I love nature, so I was kind of like fangirling it. Like everything looked so pretty and green. In the evening, we decided to go to Omoide Yokocho to grab a quick bite. Just FYI, if you do end up eating at one of the bars here, unlike American food, just expect the wait to be a little bit longer and also the service to be kind of slow. But overall, the food here was actually pretty tasty. I ended up getting a squid and it came with like a lemon dipping sauce, which I would definitely be back, but probably not when I'm starving. The following day, we decided to explore Imperial Palace in Tokyo. The view here was actually really pretty. It was a gated area, so we weren't really able to go inside. However, we were able to look at the moat and the trees around, which were actually really pretty and gorgeous. I think Tokyo overall is really known for the nice mix of nature and the city life. Afterwards, we wanted to grab another bite of food, so we actually just ran into this little cafe, Le Café La Boutique. And I'd never been here, but all of these desserts and sweets made me wish I could have stayed in Tokyo longer so I could have tried them. If you have a sweet tooth like I do, then you definitely know what I mean, because look at how good all of these sweets looked. I also didn't want to give myself a heart attack for eating too much sugar, so I tried to eat it in moderation. Next up, we decided to walk to Ueno Park that had a lovely amount of torii gates and really cool statues. This place just felt pretty spiritual. And just note that if you go to Tokyo or Japan in the summer, there still might be some drizzle. It was actually really humid and drizzling most of the time. So make sure that you pack a light raincoat or get an umbrella at some point. Also, stay hydrated. I ended up getting an Aquarius, Pocari Sweat, or Sova Plus vitamin drink almost every day because water did not feel hydrating enough in this humidity. That evening, we ended up going to Asakusa Sumo Club for our very first sumo wrestling experience. It was pretty cool. You had to buy your tickets in advance, and it came with a hot pot meal and a drink. There was also other drinks available for additional purchase, but overall, it was the nice way to end our evening after being in the rain all day and in this humidity. Here I am with my sister and my brother. I also ended up getting some sake, which was so refreshing and served in a cute box. The show started off with the most mesmerizing and graceful geisha dance I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, wish I could have recorded the whole thing because she was so good at it. Overall, I had a lot of fun. The experience was rowdy once it came down to the actual sumo wrestling, and there was a lot of opportunities to participate. After the exciting sumo show, we did some more shopping at Don Quijote, which is a store you might end up visiting more than once because they honestly have everything you could ever need at discounted prices. Plus, at the time of this video, if you take your passport, they also give you a foreigner's tax-free purchase. Also, highly recommend stocking up on this non-greasy sunscreen. After our shopping, we walked around Sensoji Temple, which was a pretty cool vibe at night because all the lanterns and lights were turned on and created this cool glowy vibe post-rain. There were also these pretty cool statues we ran into. And then we ended our night with some unagi bowls right down the street from our comfort hotel. This is me looking very frizzy-haired from the humidity with my sister. We literally were so exhausted but happy from the day, just sat down and went through all of our exciting purchases. I swear Japan has the coolest things. FYI, for everything you purchased with your passport tax-free, those will have to remain in the sealed packaging in order for you to not get charged taxes once you cross the border. Also, it was kind of difficult to find deodorant for some reason, but thankfully I was able to find some because I did not pack that. Next time I definitely will in advance. I honestly got quite a bit of skincare along with some makeup brushes, a lot of cute press-on nails, nail supplies, and makeup. But I would say what I was most excited for was opening these neon headphones I found, which were super cute and my favorite color, purple. Honestly, best deal ever. The following morning, we headed down to Bridge Cafe right down the street for some much needed caffeine. We had lattes and espresso with ice cream in my case, which was so good, and honestly the perfect combination between bitter espresso and sweet vanilla ice cream. At this point, the jet lag was starting to hit us pretty bad since California to Japan is a 16-hour time difference. I was starting to feel a little under the weather and had a little bit of a sore throat that might have been from the lack of sleep or humidity. Thankfully, I found this throat spray which really helped calm down my throat soreness and was able to continue my day. Rest of the day, we kind of just walked around exploring the area and ended up at Hitori Shabushabu. This was interesting because rather than being all you can eat, it was actually all you can drink, which I would have been more than thrilled about, but since I had a sore throat, I couldn't fully enjoy all the highball cocktails I wanted. However, this place was actually really good, and what I loved the most was that at the end they actually gave us these noodles to soak in the leftover broth we had cooked the meats and vegetables in. All the flavors were basically soaked into these noodles, which made them so delicious. I 10 out of 10 recommend this place. At the end of our meal, they gave us some ice cream, and then we were on our way continuing to explore the city. On our way to one of the shrines, we actually ran into this really cute water fountain that turned on only if you stepped up to it. Our walk continued though as we got closer to the 1,000 Toriis, which was another beautiful Shinto shrine I recommend checking out. Then we headed to Shinjuku to try our luck at some claw machines and mystery prizes. This place was fun because you would get a random encased ball with a key inside that would open up a random prize, so you never knew what you were going to get. And then the prices would range from like really expensive things to cute anime keychains. Finally, we said bye to our comfort hotel that hosted us for the past 5 days in Tokyo and headed out to the airport to catch our next flight to Osaka, where we would drive down and stay in Kyoto. Once we landed, before heading down to Kyoto, we stopped by Coco's for some hot ramen and matcha shaved ice for dessert. We ended up ordering a ride from Osaka to Kyoto, and kind of funny, but we were accidentally dropped off at the wrong hotel. But thankfully, our traditional Ryokan was just around the corner, so we didn't have to walk too far with our luggage. Our traditional ryokan was actually a really cute experience and more comfortable than I thought it would be. The view of the mountains was really cute, and the surrounding city of Kyoto was mesmerizing as we walked around at sunset. Personally, I didn't think I would get as good quality of sleep as I did, but the floor beds were actually surprisingly really comfortable. For those of you who are considering, I definitely recommend this experience, especially if this is your first time visiting Japan. One thing to note is that if you're a picky eater who doesn't like fish, this might not be the best experience for you, since the traditional meals we had in our 2-night stay here consisted mostly of a multitude of fish-based dishes, along with veggies, tea, a small pot of soup, fruit, and some coffee. This was my first time trying this kind of food, and honestly, I found it pretty good. But I know some people are particular about the food, so just wanted to give you a heads up. My favorite thing about this meal was honestly the soup and how it was presented, and how they would turn on the pot for you to keep it hot. Overall, the presentation of these dishes and fruit cup was so cute. This literally is how I aspire my kitchen and home-cooked meals to be like. Post-breakfast, I dressed up in my kawaii goth anime girl cardigan and skirt I had bought in Tokyo, then made our way to try on and rent a kimono for the day to explore Kyoto. Thank you so much for watching episode 1 of my Japan travel vlog. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop part 2. I'll see you all in my next episode. Thank you for watching.